Sweet.
enough for the everyday small and medium sized business owner.
1, 2. Check 1, 2. Do they have audio? I think I did this right. 1, 2. Sweet. 1, 2.
Hello. Hey, Doug, can you hear me? He might not be there. I think I have to mute this computer. There. Is this one muted? Mute this one. Oh no, this one's not muted. Got Hey, Tim, can you hear me? Oh wait. Oh, hold on. We need to fix our audio. I can't hear you, Tim. One moment, please.
Oh, wait, I was on mute.
Oh, there you go. Okay,
That's
perfect.
silly.
Okay, well, we're good to go. Wow. Okay.
All right. Good morning, everyone. We're still setting up, so it should be starting in about less than 5 minutes. And for people here at Green Spaces, we have coffee over in the corner. Bathrooms are in the corner as well. And we'll get going in a little bit. Good morning, Zoom. Good morning, Green Spaces. My name is Nick Campion. I will be the MC for today. Get excited because I am. You have no choice. Okay. Oh, wrong way. Allie, do you want to take away the faces in Zoom for me? So Wilmington Cups, you meet every Wednesday here at Green Spaces, 9 a.m. and also on Zoom as well. There's free coffee and tea in the corner. Here we do 6-minute presentations followed by 15 minutes of audience feedback and questions. There's a great space for the entrepreneurs to be open and transparent. We're here to discuss ideas, not people, and to build connections. 1 Million Cups, we are open to businesses that have idea, they have a product or a startup. It's about being in a teenage stage, so you can talk about it for about 6 minutes. It doesn't have to be complete at all. And we're looking for, and for individuals that are looking for and willing to receive feedback on your idea and presentation as well. People on Zoom, please mute yourself unless you're speaking. There's the raise hand button to use during the Q&A. You're also welcome to use the chat feature to connect with others. And if you want to change your name in Zoom, maybe name, job title, or name company, so we can get to know each other a little bit better. So who in the audience here is new to 1 Million Cups today? You are. Allie's not. Okay. Awesome. So for the ones that are new or don't know, we do have a website, 1millioncups.com/Denver. This is where you can go to see who's presenting each week. And this is also where you can apply to present as well. We do have a LinkedIn group. This is a great group to connect with others, share links about events you're going to or things that are relevant to entrepreneurs as well. Quick shout out to our sponsors. We have Green Spaces Co-working, where we are at right now. Good Elephant, The Perk, which is the coffee we're drinking. Founders Craft, The Commons on Champa, and Colorado Lending Source. Let's give them all a big round of applause. We also have Pono Media. I forgot to give you a shout out as well. We have Brendan here from Pono Media. He's recording this today. Allie, do you want to talk about Green Spaces real quick?
Hey everybody, we're here at Green Spaces. It's a magical place where you can come and co-work. We've got day passes for $9 for your first day. It's very exciting. And Clubhouse membership for $99 a month. It's like a coffee shop where you don't feel bad working all day and you don't have to buy a million muffins, although you can eat a million muffins if you want. There's free coffee and tea. Everyone who comes to 1 Million Cups is welcome to stay all day and work with us for free on Wednesdays. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Allie. Also, there is parking on Walnut Street for people that do come here. There's free parking, but then there's 2-hour parking on the other streets as well. Shout out to our org team, myself, Gregarious, Kevin, Carter, Ellie, Josh, Courtney. Thank you for all you do. Really appreciate it. If you're interested in joining the team, please reach out to one of us. We can always use more help. Yeah, we have an empty square. That's weird. So we're going to do some introductions. What I love to just have people introduce them, their name, what they do, and then also, where did my slide go? Oh, here it is. Why did you come to 1 Million Cups? I'd love to give us the why behind why you're here. So let's do some introductions. Any volunteers? If not, I'm just going to call on people. Sweet. All right. Go ahead. Introduce yourself, name, where you're from, why you're here.
Sweet. Yeah, my name is Dan Flynn. So I work with Mission Sweep. We're a CRM platform for the small to medium-sized business owner. We're technically a startup, started about last year. Jumped on board with the sales, and I am here to get ideas from people, meet good people in the community, and kind of I don't know, go from here. I'm here checking it out, so excited to be here.
Awesome, thank you. Hey, Josh, you want to introduce yourself? Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Josh Butchness. I work with Venture HR. We do everything from payroll to a fully integrated PEO for small businesses. And I've been coming to 1 Million Cups for a year now. And what I like about it is just the environment that it brings. It's people giving good ideas to people who are willing to accept them, right? It's not unsolicited advice. People are looking for feedback. They want to make their product better. And I just love being around small businesses that are looking to get better at what they do. I think it's really cool.
Thank you, Josh. Want to introduce yourself? Thanks.
Hi guys, my name is Haley. I'm a brand strategist and brand designer, and I'm here today because I was having a meeting with Allie before this, and I'm usually not up and ready for our meeting at 8 a.m. So I made it. I'm happy to be here.
Okay. So you're forced to be here. Okay, good. Awesome. Here in Denver or a different one? Awesome. Thanks for coming. Oh, really? Introduce yourself? Yeah.
Hi, my name is Teresa, and I'm a certified firewalk instructor and a life transformation facilitator. And I come to 1 Million Cups because after 17 years, I still find I need inspiration when building my own new businesses.
Awesome. I hope we give you some inspiration today. All right. Allie, do you want to introduce yourself? Talk about Good Elephant.
Hello there.
And why are you here?
Well, my name is Allie, and I have a company called Good Elephant. We have an app where you can find community classes and events. Our goal is to make things more inclusive and affordable for people. So we equip event creators with the host spaces and the software that they need to make things more accessible. And so, yeah, if you are an event creator, a teacher, or just have some meetup you want to share, we'd love to support you in that. And if you're looking to find community here in Denver, or we're also in Sacramento, Reno, and St. Charles, Missouri, check out our app. It's called Good Elephant on the App Store.
Awesome. Thank you, Allie. Since we only have one presenter today, we're going to do some more introductions. Hope you're enjoying this part. Tim on Zoom. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Tim on Zoom. I'm a UX designer and I'm a member of Green Spaces. I just didn't get things together enough to come in early enough for this. And I'm here to support Mike in his presentation.
Thank you, Tim. Hey, Ben, how are you doing today?
Hey, Nick, I'm good. So I'm Ben. I'm actually in New York City, but I've been coming to this meetup for well over a year, I think now. So I'm an honorary Denverite. What do you guys call it? I don't even know what you call yourself. But anyway, my name is Ben. I'm the creator of this bad boy called the Beanie Sleeper, which is a beanie with a built-in sleep mask that blocks light and keeps your head warm and comfy without overheating. Thanks, Nick.
And Ben, do you want to plug your...
Oh, my podcast. Yeah. Yep. So I do a podcast called Sleeping with Ben, where I talk to interesting people about what's going on with them. We do have a new focus. We're focusing on cancer and cancer-related issues for the foreseeable future. And I'm always looking for great guests. So you can always reach out to me at Beanie Sleeper, my IG, and hopefully we can have you on.
Ben, what's your pet's name?
Oh, this is Rabbit. I know. Her name is Rabbit. She's not a rabbit, but that's her name. She's adorable and a pain in the ass.
I just felt your cat wanted some.
Oh, desperate need of attention.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Ben.
Thanks.
Is Doug there? Doug? No? Let's move on. Jason, are you there?
Hey, good morning. Thanks, Nick. My name is Jason Nagy, and I'm working with the community in Upper Peninsula, Michigan, Marquette, Michigan. I'm based in Denver, though, and we're working on kind of with the economic development team out there on developing sustainable products. I've got a company, Co-Mediate, out in Marquette that I'm a partner on, and we're looking at utilizing hemp as a phytoremediation tool and then using hemp into industrial hemp products. And so I appreciate your work here with 1 Million Cups for the startup community. And this is my exposure, I think, for the first time to Green Spaces. I've been down there. Tom Steyer had an event. I'm not sure if it was at Green Spaces or another co-working space downtown. So
awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
Thank you, Jason. Is Kayla, are you there? You want to say hi?
Yeah, sure.
Go for it.
I just joined, so I don't know. Should I?
Well, what's your name? What you do? Why are you here?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Kayla. I am the CEO of a company called Macro Menu. So we help people with food allergies find safe places to eat. And then I'm here because a friend told me about it and told me that you guys do pitch practice. So I joined for a couple weeks from now to to pitch my company.
Did you apply to present yet?
I did.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. I should know that.
Okay, cool.
Well, great.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to get some great experience here for today because Mike here is presenting a little bit is a pro. So.
Very cool. I'm very excited. Yeah, I was just trying to check it out before I came in and pitched my own stuff. So
Cool. Awesome. Well, thanks for joining.
yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Is taking care of Quizness? Is you there? Hello? Bueller? Cool. Maureen, do you want to say hi? Okay. A couple more walk-ins, and then we'll get going. The camera's over here, but...
Okay. Anyway. No, not that one. Hello, my name is Maureen Maloney. I'm a documentary filmmaker and a freelance cinematographer. And I came to 1 Million Cups a few months ago because I have an app idea, which I presented and got great feedback on. And that's it. I am working on it slowly. I'm slowly working on it amongst many other things.
Awesome. And Gregarious, you want to say hi? I haven't picked on you yet.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, I'm Greg. It's my second time in person. Since, well, how long? You guys done a bunch in person, right?
Since May. Right?
Oh, by the way, I
Okay.
can't make the thing tonight. But you will see me when you're presenting beforehand, so schedule time to go over your presentation. I've already met Kayla. Actually, she presented at Denver Founders.
Yes. When I saw your name, I was like,
But,
oh, Greg.
Founders Live is next Wednesday. I still need 2 more startups. I have 3 already to pitch if you want $5,000 in Amazon credits. So, you know anyone? You already won. You can't win again.
Come with a disguise, like a mustache on.
It's a 99-second pitch, though. So if you want to come present your idea, feel free to hit me up after.
Cool. Thanks, Greg. Well, thanks, everybody, for those introductions. And then we're going to move on. So later today, we're going to do some community announcements. So if you have anything you want to announce, events you're attending, you share with the community. We'll do that later after the presentation. Before we get into the presentation, I just want to let you guys know that the presenters are here for your feedback. It's really important. So during their presentation, think of maybe one piece of feedback or one question to ask. The more dialogue and conversation we have, the better this meeting is. And if you have a lot to say, which is awesome, just please limit yourself at that one moment, and then we'll do a round of people, and I'll come back to you. All right. Now we're going to go to our presentation, which is Carbon Undone. Carbon Undone is a B2B marketplace for sustainable goods and services. Small businesses can learn how to run their business more sustainably, measure their business carbon footprint, and find recommendation products and services to reduce it. Let's give a big round of applause to Mike and Carbon Undone. I just realized this round of applause thing is something I guess I started. I don't know. Let me get your screen up.
Hi guys. My name's Mike. Thank you for coming today. Oh, really? Really close? Okay, cool. I am the founder of a small little startup called. Okay. All right. This is gonna be a lot of fun. All right. I am the founder of a little startup called Carbon Undone. It's a B2B marketplace for sustainable goods and services. I started this business because I wanted to make it easier for small businesses to run their business more sustainably, easier and hopefully cheaper. But what are the problems that small businesses face when they're trying to run their businesses more sustainably? This is a fun microphone. If you guys remember before the pandemic, yeah, this is, yeah, okay. If you guys can remember before the pandemic, long time ago, right? If you went out to a cafe or a restaurant, you may have noticed that they were cutting plastic waste, specifically single-use plastic, specifically straws. And the reason for that was because there was a social media campaign all about cutting single-use plastic and straws because it was ending up in the oceans, it was ending up in the rivers. And ultimately, it would degrade. Fish would eat it. It would actually end up back in our food supply. It's kind of ridiculous. And so a lot of these businesses were responding to that. They cut straws. They used the metal straws instead, right? And I went to a few of these restaurants and I thought, okay, well, that's a good thing. I'm glad that they're doing that. But if I were to advise this business on how to be more sustainable, that's probably not the first thing I would think of to do. And it's definitely not the only thing I would think of to do. But a lot of those businesses, that's what they did. And that's pretty much all that they did. And why was that? Why did they stop just there? I think it's because they don't necessarily know how their business impacts the environment. They don't know the full scope of everything that their business does to the environment. And because of that, they don't know where to start necessarily. They don't know what to do. And I mean, most of you are small business owners or managers of some kind. You know better than anyone else that you don't have a lot of time to devote to something kind of outside of your scope of work, right? And another word for a small business is actually a low margin business. So like a cafe and a restaurant, they don't have large margins, which means they need anything that they do towards sustainability to drive value. They don't have a lot of money to spend on just like, improving the lights in their business, right? So what am I gonna do? I built a couple of tools that help businesses understand what their carbon footprint is and how their business impacts the environment. And then I offer a marketplace where I can recommend products and services based off of that information. The information I learned from those tools, plus your industry, the size of your business, how many employees you have, where you are, what your zip code is. I can take all of that information in and then recommend to you different things that you could do. So here it is. Here's a screenshot of the Measure Your Carbon Emissions tool. In this slide, what you're doing is you're measuring emissions from electricity. So Austin, a business like yours, you have panels on the roof. So you might select self-generation there and then enter in that information, how much energy is created from the panels. Another business, like I work here in Green Spaces. So the energy I use is actually inclusive of rent. So I could select inclusive of rent, enter in the square footage that I occupy, and then I can measure my carbon footprint from electricity that way. So I take in all that information, and then this is more or less a mock-up at this point, but this is the marketplace. So let's say I have measured my whole carbon footprint, everything from transportation to electricity. And it turns out that I use a lot of electricity, and the electricity that's generated in my neighborhood is very dirty. So probably one of the best things that I could do for the environment is to do some energy efficiency measures, like look at the lighting costs, look at the lighting I use in the building, or maybe I'm buying renewable energy credits to buy into the solar market. And those are things that you may not think of right off the bat if you were just a small business owner thinking, I don't really know what I should be doing. I think it actually turns out a lot of the time that electricity isn't the number one or number two source of emissions for your business. It's actually stuff that you're buying. So in my tool, you can tell me about things that you buy. I measure the carbon footprint from those products, and then I could potentially offer you alternatives. And then third, since customers, when they walk into the building, they can't see the solar panels on your roof, or they don't know the quality of your lighting, or they don't know that all of the bags you use are compostable and biodegradable. I think what would help solve that is a program just like Green Business Denver. If a program like that isn't available in your city, town, state, I could offer you a badge based off of what you've done to reduce your carbon footprint. So there's an organization, I'm drawing a blank on the name right now, but what they're trying to do is help businesses set goals that would help meet the IPCC goal of limiting climate change to 2 degrees Celsius. And so they say for small businesses, if you can cut your footprint by 50%, you're helping meet the goal of limiting climate change to 1.5 degrees Celsius. If you cut by 30%, then you're reaching that 2 degrees Celsius goal. And so since I can measure your carbon footprint based off of what's called the GHG protocol, I can say, hey, look, you've done your part. So here's a badge, and we're going to tell your customers about it. And I offer you a little QR code. People can scan it and pull up a like a CSR report of what your business is like. These are some other parts of the product or the service that I'm trying to offer. You can come to my website, create a corporate sustainability report for your business, put it in the footer of your website. That's something that like Google does, Dell does. If a small business were to do that, you would probably have to work with a consultant. If you can't afford that, you can come and use my website. And then down the line, I want to add like a community and then a way to take like a course from an NGO. So there's an organization called, yeah, this isn't quite accurate. I have been working on this in earnest since about last March, right as we went into lockdown. And I decided instead of paying someone to build all of this, I was going to learn how to do it myself. And so I spent most of last year learning how to develop. And now, June 2021, I'm about ready to launch. I've got the MVP 9/10 of the way done. Okay, so this is a question every investor I think wants to know. Why now? I've identified 2 inflection points, one around sustainability and the other around B2B e-commerce. So I think respect for sustainability in business has grown by leaps and bounds over the past few years. It seems like every other day, a large company announces a new net zero goal. That, you know, they're going to cut emissions by X amount by 2030, 2035. At the same time, lots of companies, even small companies, are feeling pressure from stakeholders to be green. That pressure can come from their customers, it can come from investors, from certain banks that say, I'm not going to invest in certain industries anymore. Or yeah, even in some cases, regulators. Because of that, the sustainability market has grown by leaps and bounds. It's about 150 billion. And more than half of customers out there say that they would change their shopping habits based off of sustainability. The second inflection point is a growing shift to B2B e-commerce. So, you know, in the past, if you were to supply your business, you would maybe flip through a catalog and then call up Cisco, or you would call up a supplier and you would talk to a salesperson. Actually, some businesses are even still faxing in orders, but I mean, now 17% of all B2B sales are done online. This is largely driven by the fact that a number of buyers, 50% now, are millennials, and you're just used to buying stuff online. So there's this shift towards businesses are more comfortable not jumping on the phone with the salesman, but actually just kind of like browsing through several websites and then selecting what they need to buy. Why is this problem worth solving? Because some people might say, why do small businesses need to become more sustainable? Why not just leave this to the bigger players? Well, US small businesses are 44% of GDP. And if we need to decarbonize the economy, we can't just decarbonize half of it and let the other half kind of figure it out for themselves. We need to give them tailored tools and resources to help them figure this out. All numbers in a pre-seed deck, I think, are circumspect. This is no different, but yeah, there's a lot of small businesses out there. I think if I could get them to spend a couple $1,000s on my platform, and I was able to take a chunk of that, 15% might be pretty high, but you know, I'd be happy with you know, even 1%. The team, yeah, just me. Yeah, you only live once, right? Yay! Great. The business model, like most marketplaces, I would take a rake. So I'm selling physical products. I would take a 10% rake on any physical product sold on the platform. For services, or for like, if you were to sell capital equipment on the platform. That is a long sales process. I'm not going to take 10% off of like, an HVAC unit. But I could take like a $20 listing fee, and then you get a warm lead in return for that. And then just like with Amazon or any other kind of like Shopify platform, you can also charge for ad revenue for like featuring certain listings. So I think that's a third source of revenue. When you're building a marketplace, you have to solve the chicken or the egg problem. And there's 2 or 3 strategies that I think I'm going to adopt to do that. One, you can constrain the market, both geographically and categorically. I'm going to constrain the market to principally Denver and Colorado initially, and then branch out to the Western United States. I think a lot of businesses here in Denver specifically are sustainability minded, and then businesses in mountain towns and across the Western US, I think, are more sustainably minded than the East Coast. And then I'm going to focus on renewable energy credits, packaging, and then kind of food and beverage supplies to start with. Services will have to come later. I don't have that built out yet. And then I'm just going to focus on driving supply. From what I've read, if you're trying to build a marketplace, you should focus initially on supply. Building supply will drive its own demand. If you get enough people on your platform, will even help you with some of the marketing. And then, like I mentioned before, I have those kind of single player tools to drive the demand side and get them on the platform. This is a really messy slide, but what I'm trying to point out is that the sustainability space is very fractured. You've got people that all they do is they sell you carbon offsets. You have people that offer software as a service that will measure and track your business's carbon footprint in real time. They will manage submitting all the forms you need to submit to different groups. And then you have companies that sell sustainable products, like Eco Products is like a biodegradable plastic, or Eco Enclosed sells packaging, sustainable packaging. And then there are bodies that will certify your business. And then even the EPA has an office that just works with businesses on corporate climate leadership. I can look at all of these players as potential competitors, or I could look at them as potential collaborators. Since I'm a marketplace, what I want to do is get a number of these companies to actually work with my platform, beyond my platform, and then I'm kind of a resource for small businesses to find what they need. That's it. I hope that wasn't. Thank you. Okay.
All right. Great job, Mike. Before we get started, what type of feedback are you looking for
I
from
would like
us?
feedback on the product or the idea, and then kind of like the adoption strategy, if possible.
Okay. So
Getting
who? Gregarious, go ahead.
I Zoom people. How do you do this again?
It's like that.
Right, like this? Yeah. At your, I mean, I have a mic in my house. It doesn't require this, babe. So I think there's a couple of small tweak I would make, because I think the why I even care about anything you're about to say should have come at the beginning, not at the end, right?
Put the why at the beginning.
Yeah, it's just a good starter for any investor deck, but I think it's in general, like some eye-opening stat or some kind of way to frame or give context to this would have been helpful. Like it helps make the case.
Okay.
But I don't really feel like you address the problems that you actually identified that that these small retailers have, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I think like if you could reframe this problem, like I'm going to save you money,
right,
by being, greener, right? Like you would win everybody over, right? Like right now you have to like self-categorize people into like their politics and all these other things. And like you said, it's a low margin. These tend to be low margin businesses with like time strapped, right, as well. And so you're kind of putting lipstick on the pig here. Like it's still all the work really. Like it's just like a little bit more efficient, but it still has all the warts that existed, right?
Okay.
So if you could find products that are like, hey, like use these cups
right,
and you'll save like a tree every day, like at your business, and you'll also pay less money. Like then you don't have to pitch it, right? Like it should
Yeah.
sell itself, right? Like, or like you said, the straw thing. You're better off getting people to do good without knowing they're doing good than to actually actively want to do good, right? Like
Right.
because just motivationally, most businesses still have to look at, I have to pay my employees. It's like those cups or a raise for my employees.
Right,
So like,
exactly.
what are they going to think about? They're going to be like my employees, right?
Right.
Or my rent or anything else. And all those Maslow things all come before
Right.
this sort of this thing. So I think like the main thrust of what you want to do is great, but I think you have to position it as a solution to these problems, not as, right now it's kind of in that, vitamin space, like
Mhm.
not the aspirin, oxytocin sort of space. And I think you can need to get it more to that side for you to really, I think, get the, and this will help with the adoption, right? Because
Right.
otherwise you're going to be like going and nitpicking one person on a block and you won't be able to convince their neighbor to do it. But like, whereas everyone just switches because there's economies of scales. Like if the more of this product you can source in, the cheaper it gets, the more you save, the more everyone saves by getting their friends to use, these materials.
I think you're right. But you mentioned a key word there, economies of scale. And so I want to get to that point where we're selling enough product that, because right now, like if you want to buy like a sustainable plastic cup, you're going to pay a premium for that, right? The savings that comes from sustainability comes from energy savings. So
shipping fewer times.
Like, shipping fewer times, or like you have better lighting, and so it costs you less. That's where a lot of the savings come from.
That should be all your content marketing, right? Like, but I would like focus all my energy on one product that you could get in a volume that would, and start there.
Okay.
Right? Like you said, aggregate the demand. Like go talk to a bunch of stores, restaurants, whatever, and say like, if I can get you a cup that's gonna like, what are you paying now? Figure out the price point, then go to a manufacturer and be like, I can get you 1 million cups sold if you can get to this price point. Oh yeah. Hey, there you go. Right. So yeah, if you can get to that, right, you go in with leverage to negotiate, right? And then you can start there as opposed to, and it's very cheap. You don't have to build anything.
Right.
You just have to go talk to a bunch of people, say, what's the price point you would need your cups at for you to switch, or what's your current price point? And then great, if I can beat that by a penny, 2 cents, 3 cents delivered with that count. And then you'll find someone who will make the product for you, who's willing to cut a deal if you can do it. And then you can do one delivery to you, you can do pushes, you can do all these other ways to sort of also make it more ecological to deliver the products from there.
That's a great point. So constraining it to one category, one vertical is really important. Yeah. Right. Right. Thank you. That's great. I appreciate it.
Great feedback, gregarious, and great way to tie in 1 million cups. Teresa.
I know you were saying that New England and the East Coast probably isn't your market. I would agree with a lot of that. I would add that New Hampshire and Vermont would be your target audience on that side.
Okay. Good point.
New Hampshire is super into that, especially the little mountain towns. The entire state of Vermont's very awesome about stuff like that. As a small business, I was what you might call eco-friendly before eco-friendly was cool. Because I was cheap and had a bottom line to meet. And so in a former life, and that might translate to here in Denver, I ran a smoke shop for a very long time. And everything comes wrapped in bubble wrap and or newspaper and or in teeny tiny itty bitty boxes. And we would literally save all that newspaper, we would save all that bubble wrap, and we would rewrap. And if you're looking for, that's like a scrappy way to do it. I mean, like literally everything got recycled. And when telling employees and stuff like that, they'd be like, why am I smoothing out newspaper?
Right.
Like last week's pizza and Jack Daniel's party, because that's where
Yeah.
that money came from.
Right.
But I'm not sure if you're aware, but if you're looking for stuff on there, okay, it's a stoner community here. They actually make eco-friendly hand pipes that you can travel with, clean, and then you can literally bury it, and it's made out of hemp, and it biodegrades.
Cool.
That might be your #1 seller here in Denver if you're looking for a product to put on there. It's kind of a stupid, kitschy thing, but
No, thank you.
it would probably sell like hotcakes.
And you're right. Like a lot of the things that a business can do are free, like no cost stuff that you can do, like policies that you can adopt. And I would love to list that on my website. So, I mean, it won't just be stuff that I can sell and make a profit on, but a lot of the things that you need to know, the signs you see here, compost this, recycle this, I mean, a lot of business owners don't want to make those. So
Great feedback. Josh.
I have a couple things for you, Mike.
Thanks.
One, I think I have a connection that does aluminum straws, which are cheaper than the metal straws that are reusable.
Awesome.
So that might be a really good connection.
Yeah.
Secondly, and you touched on this a little bit, but I kind of wanted some more, how do you get momentum for your specific badge? And then you kind of alluded to there's some people in that space. Who do you identify as the right person to kind of carry momentum and kind of keep this thing going for you?
Yeah, that's a great question. This is the part of the business that I really hate the most, or the part of the idea that I hate the most, just because I can't verify claims, really, not scalably, not without going there. But there are lots of other badge programs like the Certifiably Green Denver, Green E has one. There's a business called Green Business Bureau that does that as well. And I would love to just be like, hey, listen, I know you've just gone through my platform and everything like that, and I'll put you in touch with these people. I'll even like submit the paperwork to them for you. I would love to be doing that instead. And then I can kind of like piggyback off of their badge programs, which have more reliability or credibility, right? But in terms of building momentum for my own thing, I think that's where constraining the market geographically comes into play. So if you start seeing it like every other business here in Denver, or just in Rhino, then you have much more visibility. But yeah, you're right. It would be very difficult for the badge to take off. Lucy? Oh, cool. Oh, nice.
I also think that there's alternative ways, like when I traveled in Asia,
yes,
people use banana leaves as a plate. They
right.
to go up in a banana leaf. So maybe just bringing some alternative ideas.
Yeah.
That could be a cost savings. It's not something that they had considered before.
Yeah.
And then the last idea I'll leave you with is a lot of money is lost from employees, and employees not maybe just throwing stuff away for no reason. Is there some kind of training and stuff that you could provide under that certification to the employees as well that would really kind of put you to another level? These people aren't interacting with their employees and explaining to them, hey, if you do it like this, we're gonna save money X amount of times. I think that would be important and definitely a game changer.
I had not thought of that, and I didn't really know that about employees. But I think that's a great idea for like a class in the learning center. Would be, hey, here's like kind of like an employee certification kind of a thing, or we're gonna teach your employees how to waste less and use less water. Something like that. That's great. Yeah. Right. Yeah. 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 And again, that's good for the business too. That's good for their bottom line too. Yeah.
Great feedback, Josh. Anybody on Zoom have a feedback or question? Once, twice. Okay. Dan, right? Oh, Dan has a feedback or question.
Yeah, I got a question for you.
Okay.
So I guess clarifying my side. So this is essentially like the main goal is to provide a wholesale marketplace for the small, medium-sized business owner to purchase these sustainable products.
Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah.
Gotcha. As far as like getting a hold of these, is the idea to have like some sort of membership to be able to purchase from this, where it's like an Amazon, where you have like a subscription type model for purchasers? Is there any of that, or is it purely just trying to get as many of these sustainable wholesalers available and then spreading the word to just create that sort of demand?
The second part. Yeah, I have not come up with a subscription model. No. Not a bad idea. Something worth thinking about. But yeah. Thanks.
Thank you, Dan. Allie.
Yeah, I think going along with Dan's, it could be really cool because the businesses that you're getting involved on the buyer side are very passionate about this stuff,
Yeah.
And if you had the little courses and maybe had an email newsletter that they get as part of their subscription or something where they're not only buying stuff
Right.
through it, but which is extremely valuable to
Mhm.
be to easily find the product that you need. Like I found my stickers that I
Right.
needed. But also getting like everybody's talking about the intangible like idea things
Yeah.
for their business as part of this kind of cool community that maybe they pay
Yeah.
$10 a month or something for it
Okay.
or whatever that is. But then you're making money on both sides of the platform.
I like that. Yeah, because I was worried that it wouldn't be worth charging for it, and so I was like, well, I don't know, maybe I'll just offer it for free. But I mean, if I can, yeah.
Yeah, like maybe you get an extra discount on the products.
Okay.
And like I would totally pay Carbon Undone, even though I have no money for my business, but I would support this. Yeah, I'll find it.
Thank you,
It's
Allie.
totally true because I'm passionate about sustainability, and I would pay whatever it is, like $15 a month or something, if I could go on your platform and get a deal on sustainable
Yeah.
products
Okay.
and maybe get a cool newsletter that gives me ideas about how to have sustainable protocol and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
It's
So,
like Amazon Prime, but like.
Yeah.
sustainable. I like that. Okay. Thank you. Uh-oh. Yeah.
So
Wait,
how are
me
you
or the business? Both.
the business?
Okay.
And so how are you driving people to your website? Or do you have a plan to drive people to your website using something other than
Actually,
traditionally Instagram and Facebook?
social media will be paid. Social media, I think, will be a key component to my initial strategy, specifically Instagram and Facebook. Yeah.
Have you
and then
considered
paid
joining
search.
Clubhouse? Do you know what Clubhouse
I
is?
do. I do. You recommend it?
I'm just dipping my toe in, but it's more of a conversational platform
Yeah.
where you can actually talk about your idea instead of putting a post. And if it's not food or a cat, everybody ignores it. So I
Right.
feel like it's a better platform if you have something heavy to say or something deep or something meaningful, which I feel like this is a little bit deeper than cats and food. So
Yeah.
that may be a platform that goes well for you to drive people to your website and just get your name out there.
Okay. I had not thought of that. That's great. You do. Okay. You were? Okay. I know it's like really popular with entrepreneurs and yeah, in that space. Okay.
Any other feedback or questions for Mike? Allie.
I think in general, when I've looked at your website,
Mm-hmm. Here we go.
which is my yeah, we'll work on that. But in general, and from your presentation too, it's like there's kind of two things that you're trying to do.
Uh-huh.
And from my perspective, it's like you're trying to connect businesses with the products and services.
Mhm.
Then you're also trying to do all this other cool stuff
Yeah.
for them with the certifications and
Yeah.
the tool to measure your emission stuff. And just from what I've learned from doing my startup, it's kind of like I wonder if there's one of those things that you could
Focus on.
focus on, because it's gonna be kind of hard to, first of all, like explain what you do
Mm-hmm.
if you're like, we connect you with products and services, and we do this other
Right.
stuff
There's
and
5
this
other
other stuff.
things.
Yeah, and like if you can, like I've been explaining your company to people, and it's really easy to just say like, hey, Mike has a company that connects you with sustainable products for your
Yeah.
business, and they're like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And like, even if you just focused on that to start, like, because I just from my experience, like all this other stuff really distracting,
Yeah.
and it's not this thing that's actually making you money, right? So it's like maybe focusing on that part first and getting that like down pat, and
Yeah.
then you can build on top of that.
I haven't even built that other shit yet. So
Yay. Okay.
Anybody on Zoom have feedback or question? You can use the raise hand button, or you can just unmute yourself. No. Mike, I have a couple of things of feedback for you.
Okay.
I would love to hear, like, to start off about like your story. Like, why you? Why is this important to you? How'd you came up with the idea? You just went right into the problem and solution, which is a great start. But why should I go to your website? Why are you attached to this? And we'd love to hear more about that story to start off. If you
Yeah.
can incorporate that.
I don't have a great answer for that actually. I don't have a background in sustainability. I don't have like degrees in it or anything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I did study a little bit about climate change, and it just seems like the biggest problem facing our generation today is going to be climate change going forward. And I would like to think I'm a practical, pragmatic person, and I'm always interested in. I studied entrepreneurship in college because I was interested in solutions and the different ways that businesses can approach a problem and address it. And in this instance, businesses are both part of the problem and part of the solution. So if you can work on changing businesses' behavior, I mean, you're kind of solving both sides of the problem almost.
Okay. Hey, you can even start off the presentation talking about your passion for like entrepreneurship, and then you saw this idea. And you're not expertise in sustainability, but you have a passion for it. And
sure. Okay.
Now you solved this problem. Here's the solution. Okay. And this ties with gregarious, but focusing a little bit more on impact that you're doing for these companies. You talk about the problem and the solution, but what's the impact you're having on them?
Right.
And highlighting that, because that's going to drive those conversions as well.
That's great feedback. Thank you.
Anything else? All right, Dan, you got the final question.
Yeah, the only thing that I feel like maybe could be a bigger idea that you mentioned, but kind of like went over, is the marketing and advertising aspect of your platform, right? Because kind of like Greg said, I mean, if you're speaking with a small business owner, it's going to be about cost and the value you provide. So if you can beat the cost, that's one thing. But if you can provide the value on the marketing side and being able to, I don't know, not guarantee any sort of increased ROI or anything like that, but being able to provide a platform for marketing, kind of push the fact that, like, yes, we are getting your name out there as a business, as somebody that is trying to make an effort into this climate change fight. I think there's certainly value in that.
Yeah, I agree completely. When I talk to people who aren't necessarily like very sustainability minded, they're like, yeah, I guess I would be interested in this for my business, but because of the marketing value, because of like, you got to do like 3 or 4 things for me. Maybe the badge, you put me on your website as part of social proof. And then I'd even thought about like helping out businesses with like social media posts or advertising for them, making them part of like a gold tier program, something like that, But yeah, you're right on with, that's a key driver of value, is being able to say, hey, I'm green. My problem with this though is the danger of greenwashing. So I get a company that, again, it has to be like a scalable platform. So anyone can come and sign up and use it and find a product that makes them more sustainable. But if I'm then in the business of like certifying or labeling certain companies, I mean, I could get a company that's horrible for the environment and is not really doing their part, but they have bought like 2 or 3 products from the platform, or maybe they lied in the tool, and then now I'm like, there's a brand risk there, I think. No?
We're going to move on, Allie.
Okay.
Mike, I have a final question for you. What as a community can we do for you?
That was excellent feedback. Thank you very much, everybody. And then a couple of you mentioned you knew people in the space. I would love any connections you might have.
Awesome. Let's give a big round of applause to Mike and Carbon Undone. And move on to some community announcements. I know Gregarious talked about Founders Live. What day is that again? You're the boss. I don't know. But next Wednesday. Okay. Anybody else have any announcements they want to make? Allie.
I will speak for Jody. There's a CBD event happening.
This one right here.
Oh, great! Yeah, she is a startup, local CBD startup here in Denver. She wants to get the word out about her company. It's called the Odyssey CBD. And you can sign up on the Good Elephant app for the event, and you get free CBD samples and all kinds of cool stuff. And it's this Friday here at Green Spaces. So, and I didn't see the 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. And then also for Good Elephant, we are having our signature event, the Elephant Collective. That's going to be on the 21st, so Monday night on the 21st, 6 to 8 p.m. It's just kind of like mindful people mingling. It's a great place to meet new friends and network. So,
All right, so I might be jumping the gun a little bit, and if Allie doesn't approve it, that's cool. Like, there's no bad blood. But next Tuesday, I did apply through Green Elephant to start a 6-week series, not consecutively because I travel too much, but it is called Passion or Paycheck. And we just explore different options for taking your story and making it your pitch. So you're not pitching people, you're just telling your story, you're sharing your enthusiasm, and you're getting people to work for you, which I am super, super good at. That's an excellent thing that I've been able to do over the years, is to get other people to work for me and for free. It's a gift. And also building cult brands, because that is what I build. I build things that are sustainable in a fad age. My things last, and years after they're closed, people still talk about them. So I will share my insights on how I got people to get so attached to my branding.
Awesome. Thank you, Teresa. Anybody on Zoom have an announcement? Time to shine. Okay. Anybody else? Cool. And going back to this event on Friday, I will be there as well, emceeing, if that's a draw or not. There might be a pun or two. Speaking of puns, let's just jump to it now. It's a great segue. I'll come back to that other slides. So, man perishes after falling into a vat of hot coffee. Authorities say it was instant. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. Let's go back to those other slides. Just a reminder, you guys are all awesome. Really appreciate you guys coming here, and people on Zoom as well. Really appreciate everybody's participation. If you want to know more about 1 Million Cups, we have a website. That's where you can apply to present. Also invite friends as well and get more information on today's presenter. We're social. We're on all the social medias as well. That's the pun. I already said it. Thanks everybody for joining today. You can hang out for the day if you like here at Green Spaces. Just check in with Allie. Zoom attendants, thanks again for coming out. We're going to do this again next week, same time, same place. And one big round of applause for everybody coming out today. Clap, 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 clap. All right. Thank you guys. There's more coffee as well if you guys want some. But you guys can hang out for a while and mingle.